Yes. Hi, my name's Jared Kirby. I'm a historical fencing master and a fight coordinator for Screen and Stage. I'm here today to talk about some iconic Hollywood weapons. The shield is typically a mostly defensive weapon with a little bit of offense. What I find fun about Captain America is the shield being used much more 50-50, where you still get a lot of offense out of it. Having those kind of special properties, you can do that. Obviously, any regular shield you do that with, it's just gonna fall to the ground. Technique-wise, you're looking at something that you can use as a short quarterstaff. Now, when you have the curved edges, something that can actually hook and trap. So I think it's definitely something that's interesting in the context of the Star Trek world. Like, you have this weapon for dueling, for combat with another Klingon. Whenever you have a weapon like this, you get to play with martial techniques and theory that you already understand and its application. I could watch that man move all day. Nunchucks in particular aren't a specialty of mine, but I can talk about flexible weapons. We've always used flexible weapons because it gives us that advantage of reach and quick motion. Now, when it's a saber or a sword that is doing that, you're trying to specifically cut and cut to the bone. When it's not a sharp edge, you're delivering a percussive blow. Instead of just hitting somebody with a rigid object, you gain the momentum and the velocity of that rotation. Sure, somebody science-based can give you all the specifics about how much more power it delivers by creating that arc. I'm not that guy, but I can tell you it's definitely going to hurt a lot more when you create that kind of rotation. So that's the beauty of James Bond. We get to live in a world with super spy weapons that have properties and abilities that we can't imagine. I can't imagine how a hat would ever cut through a statue, but it sure is fun to watch.
Oh, that really hurt!
Yeah, I think the shoe is going to do a little more damage than the hat, definitely. Like we were talking about before with anything that's spinning, I love how they show us the kind of momentum that that hammer is picking up and how much more damage it's doing as soon as he starts to spin it around. I think it's great when he's using the hammer. He's got the same advantages like Captain America did, where that hammer is always coming back to him. What I love particularly in this clip is that you see him not only use that geometry of an arc, but then that last shot that we get to see in there, he actually just stops it and brings it right back to take care of all those people. So it does have a little more versatility. Yeah, I cannot think of another time that I've seen whip versus whip. So it's fun that they explored that option. I think the whip as a weapon, then it definitely has a great martial purpose because, again, you have that flexibility, and when you hear that crack, that's coming because you're creating velocity that is breaking the sound barrier. That's how fast that thing is moving. So if you're actually getting hit with that, that is a cut that can go right to the bone.
Oh, Stone Roses.
No. Same coming.
I like it.
Sade. That's Liz's.
Yeah, but she did dump you. Oh.
Part of any martial arts training, once you get to an advanced level, is improvised weaponry or found weapons. So you need to start to look at everything in the world as a potential weapon. If all I had was records, yeah, I don't think those are ever going to work in that way. The advantage that you have with a spear is you have the opportunity to use it at full range. You can use it at close range or at medium range. Again, wonderfully in this fight, you get to see all of that within the first 6 moves. So there's a great amount of versatility, and on top of that, you have both sides being weapons. So even though when it's a spear, you have the pointy end at one side, you're still using the butt end just as much. We have such a playground available to us when we're artists and we're creating whatever that medium is, that I think it's great to think in fantastical ways, but make sure to come back and ground that when it's a fight, ground that in a martial reality. It's going to connect with the audience in a much different way. You have the opportunity with violence to create a story in and of itself. And when you create that story through the violence, you're able to reveal character, and then it's not just something extra, it's something integral.